Yeah. What it do? Yes, your brother man from the motherland coming to you guys live from the NY back with another one of that ROD pod. For those that don't know who I am Hem Jones, the NBIC. And again, I represent that ROD, redeem and destroy, facts over beliefs. And today we're gonna have a good one. Um, my apologies for coming on a little late. I've been home editing these videos. I literally got home, took off my clothes, and literally jumped on the computer trying to, edit the broadcast. I'm gonna put it up for Tuesday AM. You know what I'm saying? So your grand rising on a Tuesday, you definitely gonna have that beautiful barbecue chicken waiting for you to, digest, process, and of course, provide me with your feedbacks. Leave everything in the comments, man. You feel me? But on today, man, we're going to have a conversation, people. A conversation that needs to be had. You know how we do over here on the ROD pod. We have to talk our sugar, honey, iced tea. You feel me? And we want to talk about what it really means what the Bible really meant when it said that thou shalt be discontinued from thy heritage. What did the Bible really mean when it said that thou shalt be discontinued from thy heritage? What did the Bible really mean? So I decided to, put a quick slide together. And hopefully, you guys can tune in later on and get a recap and, get that barbecue chicken, that good food. You know what I'm saying? That soul food. You feel me? Give me a second. Let me. Yeah, see, I had to make sure. So my apologies. What does the Bible mean when it says that thou shalt be discontinued from thy heritage? Now, for some of you guys may see it as a prophetic prophecy that's gonna take place upon a particular group of people, which is true. But the particular group of people and the only people that has been discontinued from thy heritage and has been forbidden for participating and practicing because you shall be demonized is the Alkebulan kidnaps all across the world. The Alkebulan kidnaps all across the world, people. They are the ones, I repeat, they are the ones that has been discontinued from their heritage. So I decided to put a slide together. Let me show my face just for a little bit. I decided to put a slide together so you guys can see exactly who has been discontinued from that heritage. We're going to go right back to it. I just want you to see my face when I say I put a slide together. ones that fit such narrative. Who are the ones that fit this narrative? The ones that fit this narrative is no other than the black and brown AKs all across the world. The AKs are the ones that has been discontinued from that heritage. The AKs are the ones that has been discontinued from that heritage. We are the ones with spiritual amnesia. We are the ones that's culturally disconnected. Our identity has been fractured from the minute we came out the womb. I said this on previous lives, that you come out the womb indoctrinated. Your mother, your father does not even acknowledge you when you're born. They give all thanks to God, Jesus, before they even acknowledge you. So your first words that's coming out that we're here will be, thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Allah. And I'm speaking mainly for the black and browns across town. Huh? Tell me where I'm wrong. Who has been disconnected from that heritage? And look what we're using to claim ourselves back. Here we are. Here we are in 2025. Hold on, I want to turn this off. Hold on. I want to turn this off for a little bit. I want to turn this off for a little bit. Here we are. Knowing that we don't have an identity, knowing that we don't know who we are, knowing that we don't stand on nothing besides beliefs. Here we are. Knowing these things. And what do we do with it? We force ourselves to believe. We forcing ourselves to believe a story that none of us can prove outside of the fact that this is a story that we know without a shadow of a doubt was given unto us by a particular group of people. Everything else outside of that, nobody can prove. Nobody can prove that this is us. Nobody can prove that we are connected to the book, to the writers, to etc. It can't be proven. Because if we was the children of the God that's written of in the Biblos, the minute the Biblos opened, the minute the word was spoken, a child will hear. And the reason why I'm saying that is because for me as a father, I remember when my son was being born. Everybody, the doctors, the nurses, everybody said something. But when he heard my voice, his eyes went looking for me. Now, how many of you guys heard the word of God and you went looking for him? And I'm talking about first contact, first listen. I'm talking about that. How many? Very, very little. Very, very little. And everything that I'm saying, and the reason why I can say this, people, the reason why I can say this is because I've been on the other side. I've seen it. I've walked. I've watched. I observed. I listened. And it's the same manuscript. But we not gonna let that be the topic of discussion, because I want to go. excuse me. I'm not gonna back out no more. I'm gonna stay right here because every time I back out and I come on, my joint go on mute and you guys are not hearing it. And I can't hear on the other side. And I can't see the messages as I'm doing this presentation. It sucks, but you know, you get what you pay for, right? And I pay for a lot. The Euro-Christian disruption unveiling the assault on African spirituality. Check this out. In the 15th, 17th century, missionaries arrived along with colonizers, condemning indigenous practices as pagan. Okay? They came into your space. They converted your mind. And how to keep you under their control, under their beliefs, they started renaming locations. They used to get interpreters, pay them, right, to falsify and lie and said this was the mountain that Moses walked on. This is the name. Now, again, people, again, I beg you to just have logical common sense. Please explain to me, how did English spoken, written language end up in Alkebulan when the English language was not even present until the 18th century? But these people been there since the 15th and 17th century. Let us continue. Between the 18th, 19th century, right? Forced conversions and the what? Criminalization of traditional spiritual practices. So around this time, this is the time when it was all out. It was an all-out war to start the process. They needed to speed it up because they had to prep for the 1940 something situation. All of this is calculated, people. They had to prep for this. You understand? They had to prep for this. So within the 18th, 19th century, they was all out. It was a full-fledged assault when it comes to the conversions. Missionaries from all over. We had Albert Christian, who came into South Africa, brought keeping the commandments into South Africa. Okay? You had you had all these religious practices. There was the Jews that was migrating from Germany here. They was coming here before the grand finale, guys. They was coming here, setting up shop. Do you understand? Do you understand what I'm saying to you? Wait till you guys see what I got in store for the verdict. I couldn't give it to you guys this week because I had to work and I had to do my man's a solid. You understand? And Sunday I had to do a side situation. So I really didn't have no time for myself. Yo, I kid you not, I probably had at least 3 hours to myself. Literally. 3 hours. You understand? They forced these things upon us. And within the 20th century, listen, the 20th century, mission schools teaching rejection of ancestral wisdom. All these schools is teaching everything but African spirituality. These schools, these churches, these congregations, these people that you deem to be righteous are literally upholding the enemy's work to keep you from ever rising, ever standing on something. Alkebulan. I don't know how much should I stretch it. I don't know how much should I stretch it. I give you guys all the information that you guys can use to look up. Don't listen to me. Go do your homework. Go look up Charles C. Jones. Go look up William S. Crowdy. Go look up Frank Cherry. Go look up Albert Christian. Go look these people up. These are the ones that's the pioneers into the spiritual destruction of the Alkebulans all across the world. They are the ones. And everybody that you see that's teaching comes from one of these umbrellas. That's including myself. I was doing the William S. Crowdy. I was doing the Albert Christian. I was telling my Alkebulans and Alkebulan that keeping the commands is the only way to true salvation. Until I found out that the people that's keeping the commandments never had salvation. That the commandments was never honored, ever. The commandments became something when you seen these Jews come to America with it, bro. None of these people was, none of our people was rocking with these things, bro. I've spoken to numerous of Alkebulan, directly born and raised, degrees. That lady was just one of many. I love picking the brains of my Alkebulans because I really want to know what the heck happened. And like the story goes, all roads lead to Rome, right? Huh? Present day, internalized spiritual alienation continues the disruption to continue teaching it. These people are not here to do the will of the creators. They are here to uphold the adversary, the oppressors, and hopefully get a little check at the end. This is not about no spiritual connection back to African Alkebulan spirituality. Because none of these people can prove that what these people are practicing is facts. So how are you going to tell me that we need to practice that when you can't even prove it? Prove it. Show it. Show me. And trust me, I seen all the evidence that you guys did, man. I was there, I listened, I observed, but the answers is not enough. I don't want to find hidden writings and words inside of the Biblos, because I can show you William Shakespeare in the Biblos too. That's not what I'm looking for. That's not enough. That's not enough when I know that this very tool has been used for thousands of years. And I know that the very tactics and the very approach that you're coming with comes strictly from the school of Charles C. Jones, the pioneer of the theologian. He wrote in his book that when we came into the shores of America, we didn't know nothing about keeping no commandments. We didn't know nothing about no laws. We didn't know nothing about none of these things. We didn't know nothing about Jesus. We didn't even want it. In fact, the slave masters didn't even want to introduce us to Jesus. Like they always said, we are unfit. Why would we give the dogs the holy word of ours? That's what they was saying. That's how they felt. That's what they was feeling like. Why would I give my God, my King, my salvation, my Savior, the man that gave me all these riches, all these niggas as servants, why would I give it to the bare mortals, these peasants? How dare you? But when the Nat Turners and all these rebellions going on, they needed to find something. You guys let this Willie Lynch be the end all be all. No, we was still rebellion. The Willie Lynch was not enough. They said, yo, how do we tame these niggas? They said we gotta convert them into Christianity, guys. They said we gotta convert them into Christianity, guys. They said we need to convert them into Christianity, guys. They said we needed to convert them to Christianity, guys. They said we needed to convert them into Christianity, guys. They said we needed to convert them into Christianity, guys. And they said the first, and it was written. If I could find the book, I know where I got it in my bookshelf. But in that book, and I tell you guys this all the time, I have nothing to lie to you about. I have no shame in the things that I'm saying. I have no fear. There is no God in the Biblos that's going to do absolutely nothing to me as long as I stay in the path of righteousness and I walk in the ways of the creators. The creators have no connection with the book, by the way. I have nothing to prove, nothing to lie to you. You guys can do your homework as much as you want. Do go ahead. Go down that rabbit hole. I promise you, you'll be upset. I promise you, you'll be upset. And you won't be upset about the information that you find. You'll be upset that you went against your mind, because every single one of us, every single day, every time, whether you listening to me, whether you listening to whoever, you always have that doubt, that spiritual doubt. You know why you have that spiritual doubt? Because something in you is telling you that what's coming out of the Biblos is not you. Something in you. But we fight it because we was told that that's going to be the demons that's going to try to keep you away from the creators. No. That is your ancestors. That is the ancestors that refused to accept that book. I remember when I was telling my wiz, I was like, yo, baby girl, you got to read the book. Yo, you know how many years it took her just to go through Genesis and Exodus? And now that I'm here, and I got the knowledge and the wisdom and the understanding and the discernment, it makes sense now. It's not that she didn't want to read the word. It's not that the demons was in her and it was keeping her from the word. No. It was her ancestor. Could have been her grandmother that said, baby, you know I was invested to this bullshit, baby girl. This ain't it. I'm telling you. Every time you try to read, close it, go to sleep. Let the phone ring, something happens. You know why? You know why their ancestors do that? You know why their ancestors will fight until they can't fight no more? You know why? Because they know once you be invested inside that book, it's a very high chance you will never get out. And I would like to thank all those that had guided me and provided me with wisdom. And not just wisdom on the information and the material, but also wisdom in the behaviors. You see, behavior, a man's character and how they operate determines who they are. Forget what they teach. Forget how they speak. Forget how they reach. Forget how they leech. The character of a man will say it all. And I have to say thank you. Because we don't know that we have been under attack for a very long time. We don't know that. You know what I'm saying? Let's get to the next slide. Let's get to the next slide. The war on indigenous knowledge, suppressing the wisdom of our ancestors. Medical knowledge, healing practices, right? Labeled as what? Witchcraft, despite their effectiveness, right? We're this, like, I can't make this stuff up. And even now, we have been so broken by the system, bro, that when we get sick or something goes wrong, the very first thing that triggers in our mind is to go into the hospital. And it's triggered in our mind that everything that these people are saying is factual because they are the professional, they are the doctor, and you were just an ignorant, dumb nigga patient. And you should be happy that somebody with their critical skills, their expertise in this field, you should be happy that they're talking to you and giving you wisdom. They should be charging you for this consultation. Oh, my bad. They already charge you, right? With what they call that insurance, Medicaid. Come on, man. Come on, man. Ritual technologies, man. Sounds, movement, and communal, ceremonial, suppress, all of that. Everything that we do. None of us know anything Alkebulan. You don't know your tribal dance. You don't know your tribal song. You don't know your tribal, you don't even know your tribal handshake. You don't know nothing. But we know everything about Jesus. We know everything about Luke, everything about Paul, everything about David, everything about Abram. But not a nigga know nothing about the Alkebulan. Nobody know what Shaka Zulu was doing. Nobody knows, but nobody, all these kings with the color of our skin, the pharaohs, we don't know nothing they was doing. But we know every bullshit about Jesus. Even when he was disrespecting your black women, because he was talking to a Canaanite, right? Isn't Cain Ham? Isn't Ham from Africa? Huh? Let's talk about it. Let's talk, people. He called our sister a dog, my nigga. Get mad. Don't know nothing. We don't know nothing. And we come on here and we sit here and we puff our chest like we know it all. You don't know nothing. I don't know nothing. And I will be a goddamn effing lie if I told you that I knew it all. But one thing for certain, two things for sure, I ain't never gonna fall for the Euro lie anymore. Never. I made it this far in my life. Congratulations. All thanks and honor to the ancestors, to the creators, to the Alkebulan deities that hover over us, and of course to all my Alkebulan kidnappers just like me, to my niggas. I made it this far. Now I want to. Now the second phase of my life, as I make that transition into middle age. I want that to be invested into my people. I want that to be invested into my ancestral understandings. I want to learn from the minds of my fellow black brothers and sisters. I no longer want the information from a Crenshaw. You understand? I no longer want the information from Shayakovich, bro. Or a Schechner. I don't want that. I'm good. Let that story be for them and their kind. It's time for us to start focusing on us. Let's gain our wisdom. The cosmology understanding, African systems of time, astrology, and metaphysics demise, right? We need to know this. I'm not going to accept that until we met them. That's when we got intelligent. I'm not here to accept that. You take that. I'm not taking that. I will never demonize who I am and my greatness and my intelligence. And I will never in my life associate my greatness from them. Never. My greatness comes from the blood and tears, sweat and tears of my ancestors. For the ones that had to pick the cottons, to the ones that had to rather get raped than die because they knew they had a purpose. They knew that they needed to produce warriors to walk these streets and fight for the freedom of the Alkebulan kidnappers. That's what we talking about. The oral traditions, libraries of knowledge lost as elders died without transmission. Purposely, these niggas was killing our elders, bro. A lot of the slaves that made it to the shores was people under 60, like, you know what I'm saying, under 50. I mean, under 50, under 65, bro. They slaughtered every old head that was in the land. Anybody that carried wisdom, anybody that carried a position of spiritual power, they got rid of, bro. You don't know who you are. You don't know who you are. You think you know. You don't know who you are, pimping. You don't know who you are. Don't know your tribe. Don't give me no 12 tribe bullshit. Nobody want to hear that. Nobody can't prove none of that. Every time a nigga come over here, 12 tribe, like speaking Hebrew, shut up. Go sit over there. You don't time out. Nobody want to hear that. Every time. It's hilarious. It's comical at this point. Got black people invested 20 years in such philosophies and ideologies, and yet still can't get the script. Why can't they get the script? Because they put these niggas on a Titanic ship. Well, this super ship that can't be sunk, because they feel like if it's not coming from them, it's not right. It's not official. It's not authentic. It got to come from their factory for it to be approved. No. Listen, I'd rather get my information from the little hut, because I know the little hut is going to put their effort in to try to be the big hut. So they're not going to be fucking around feeding us bullshit to keep us at the bottom, because they know that they want to get up too. I'm sorry, guys. These things be, you know what I'm saying? I be getting pissed off sometimes, guys. You know what I'm saying? And it don't even be my fault, man. It just really be so frustrating that people are just not seeing the obvious. Like, it's just there, bro. Where's the proof to show that what you're telling me is the way? Where's the proof? Where's the bodies? Where's the locations? Where's the paperwork? Where's the oral conversations? Somebody as great as Mensidisi, man, when that conversation will never display off the face of this earth. People are still talking about Shaka Zulu. Nobody talking about Mensidisi, bro. There's no talk about Jesus outside of a Euro-Christian population, bro. I spoke to the lady, bro. I asked her, I said, what was we doing prior to slavery? I said, what was we doing prior to colonization? I said, what was we doing prior to Euro-Christian invasion? She said we was worshiping multiple gods. We had gods for everything. And I believe that. Because it wasn't Sunini that saved the Alkebulans in Haiti. It wasn't Modimo. It wasn't Ulamari. It wasn't these names. It was names like Ogun, Oshun, Ogun, the god of war, god of iron, fire. And I find it ironic that these gods that have these special traits are also the gods that's in the book of Enoch that said that these are the evil ones and follow them because they hellbound. I find it so crazy that they the ones that are writing how these people are evil, but yet these are the ones that's practicing all of this evil every day. Who's dropping bombs on people? Who's passing guns around? Who's manufacturing bullets, bulletproofs? Who's out here, creating bombs and special liquid things that could just literally be hazardous and dangerous, fatal. You know what I'm saying? Like, my brain trying to process all of this because, like I said, it's just a high level of frustration. The wounds of the disconnection, the trauma, and the powerlessness, okay? Ancestral trauma, admit it, you have that, all right? Unhealed wounds passed through generations. Admit it, you have that. If you wake up and you base your ideologies and your viewpoints of how to live your life from the philosophies and ideologies of the enemy, you are dealing with trauma. Spiritual vacancy, feeling of emptiness despite religious practices, like I said earlier. You guys know what I'm saying to be true. You guys know that you guys go into these things and you do this and you don't even feel complete. You gotta force yourself to be in the trance, bro. Only time I ever got a kick out of all of this, I ain't gonna lie, is when you at Passover, because Passover was like a party. You know what I'm saying? All the top leaders, you know, the artists, people that's really invested. That's the time you're gonna see them. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna see people breaking bread. You know what I'm saying? This is the time. Other than that, bro, it's literally like going to church on Sunday, bro. They just changed the Sunday to Saturday. Let the Hebrews tell you, they're gonna say they turn Hebrew, they turn the Lord's Day from Saturday to Sunday. Spiritual confusion, the contradictions between the adopted beliefs and the inherited knowing. The contradictions. They tell you worshiping the dead is evil. They tell you worshiping the dead is evil, that it is fire and brimstones for those that participate in worshiping the dead. But out of everybody in the Bible, the only person that was ever risen was so-called Jesus. But yet, we revered, we honor, and we want to be like Paul. We talk like Paul. Paul is dead. Paul is a man. Paul was never a god. So which means that we're worshiping the dead. We're following the dead. But that's not hellbound. That's not considered evil. In fact, that's considered righteous of righteous, holies of all holies, because you're doing that. Yeah. The cultural sham, internalizing rejection of one's spiritual heritage. And there's no other people on the face of this earth that gets demonized for what they believe in and what they do than the AKs worldwide. You will never see the news in this and YouTube going into these areas and demonizing what the Chinese do, demonizing what the Koreans do, demonizing what the Muslims do, demonizing what the Indians do, demonizing what the Greeks do, demonizing what anybody do, but the Africans, the AKs, the Alkebulans. The minute you even touch something black that's out of their control, you are evil, you are hellbound, you are Hellenistic nigga. And because of that, I gotta keep my finger on the trigger. Huh? Let us continue. Let us continue, please. Huh? Let us continue. Why not? Hold on. Hold on. I want to move all of this off the screen. There we go. Let us continue. Reconnecting to our roots, healing and empowerment. The spiritual sovereignty. Reclaiming authority over your spiritual path. Trusting ancestral connections over external validation. What that means is Seek yourself within you. Don't worry about what the outside has to say, what the masses have to say. F them. F anybody that's trying to stop you from connecting to anything that's black, bro. They are the enemy. Even if it's your biological family, they are of the enemy. Anybody that's keeping you from finding you, knowing who you are, knowing what we went through to get here right now, to be here thus far. Anybody that comes in between that is the enemy. Okay? Practicing that awaken celery memory. Your body remembers what your mind has forgotten. And you know what was crazy? Today, I'm driving and I'm just in my thoughts. And I said to myself, yo, I'm really out here slipping, bro. I'm really out here slipping, bro. Now you're gonna ask and say, damn, June, what you mean you slipping? I'm really slipping. I can't even remember for last week how many times I gave thanks and honor to my ancestors, to the creators. I don't even recall the last time I got up and did a family gathering to give honor and respect to the ancestors. And as I was driving, I said, it seems like the world wants me to come back. And don't get me wrong, I miss the world. I miss my peoples. I miss my brothers. I miss my sisters. I miss, you know what I'm saying? I miss my niggas, you know what I'm saying? And I'm not even on no, operating in ignorance and all that, but just operating in a clear, righteous state of mind. Like I'm not moving like I'm better than them. I'm not looking at people with a side eye like, this person's going to hell. That's what religion do. I'm not doing that. So it feels good being back. But at the same time, I feel like I'm losing myself spiritually because I'm not doing what I used to, as far as having everybody praying at 12 o'clock. And, we doing things on a Friday night. I remember Friday nights, we used to be in the house watching Bible movies and drinking wine and, reading the Bible. Me, my son, my daughter sometimes, just going through the motion. To now, it's like, nah, I don't want to go through that. And for me personally, I'm just being honest. I'm keeping it 100. Like I said in my last live, a lot of it has to do with frustration. A lot of it has to do with disappointment. A lot of it has to do with lies and after lies after lies. It's just spiritual fatigue. You just feel like, hi. So this was a lie, that was a lie, this is a lie, that is a lie. And it's like, so what do you do now? And it's like, all right, Jones, you go ahead and go through these doors. Be prepared to be disappointed, but you got to go through them. And right now it's like, I want to go through them, but I need to take a break. I need to take a break and recoup from the lies, because it hurt me a lot. You know what I'm saying? You guys may think that it is nothing because of my demeanor, but it hurted a lot. It hurts a lot knowing that you invested so much of your time that you can't get back, your youth, you know what I'm saying? So much of it invested into a story, into a book, just to find out that it was just nothing but it's just a mystical strip. And dudes want to do what they want to do with it. That's not for me to, for me to argue. Community restoration, finding others on similar journeys, collective healing, amplifying individual transformation. I'm sorry, my glasses, I gotta clean them. I can't find my wipes right now. The knowledge of reproduction. right? The reclamation, right? Studying African spiritual systems, learning from complementary practitioners. So learning from each other. Gotta go back and learn we gotta learn the oral ways. Pause, that was nasty. But we gotta learn the ways of our ancestors. Oral conversation. Pause, that was nasty as well. But we gotta have a formal conversation. We gotta speak to each other. We gotta speak to each other. Is it done here? We gotta speak to each other. We gotta love each other. We gotta acknowledge that we are in this together. No man can't stand alone. Let's kill this. Yo, man, I gotta worry about myself, man. I gotta worry about me, man. I gotta do me. It's not about you. It's never about you. It's never about me. It's never about nothing. It's about the entire Black AK people all across the world. That's the only thing that matters. Everything else is just a hobby, obsolete, trash, garbage. Move it out the way. Just another distraction. Just another letdown. And the Bible let me down, and it's gonna let you down too. But I'm not afraid because, like I said, I know where this terminology comes from. I know where the story comes from. I know who compiled them together. Like, I got all that information. All of these things is in the hard drive, or I got it on my bookshelf. But once you know, you know. And I know. And when you know, not only do you know, once you know, but once you know, it's time to let go. And I'm letting go. I'm letting go. The focus is about our people. The decolonizing your righteousness. Path to reparation. Question everything. Research your lineage. Experiment with practices. These are the things that you got to do. And integrate wisely. Question everything. Don't just accept what I'm saying. Question it. Research. Research your lineage. Stop worrying about your ancestors of just the black race. Go back a generation. Start off with your moms, then your grandmoms, then your great-grandmoms. This is the only way we're gonna find this information. Or just pay. Just pay. Trust me, people, they got all your information. Everything. You let these people tell you that they hide it, they put it away. Some of these information is these classified information, and some of these records you have to pay thousands, and I mean thousands of dollars to retrieve. And that's intentional, because who got the money to put $1,000 on a piece of paper? Not the black people, but the euro. Okay? Experiment with practices. And that's what I was saying earlier, until, before I change the slide. I want to wake up in the AM, breathe. I want to meditate. You hear the music in the background. Like, I want to start, connecting, cleansing my body, cleansing my mind, cleansing my soul. Purging all the anger, frustration, the bitterness, the disappointment. You know what I'm saying? Purge all of that. And just give honor and thanks to the creators for what they've done. Allow me to wake up. Allow me to be a father. Allow me to be a son. Allow me to be a brother. Allow me to be something for somebody. Doesn't matter who they are. But the fact that I'm able to do so, that's all I could say. That's all I could ask for. And everything else that's included, shout out to him for that. integrate it wisely. Like I told you guys before, we are not in a position to say what we're going to believe in and what we're not. All you have to do is go inside with a grain of salt, with a flashlight. Go inside. Know your heritage. And if it feels wrong, then you can step away. But if you get that connection and your body is moving and this and that, chances are that is your culture. That is your heritage. That is your tribe. That is your area. That's where you need to be. We got nothing but homework to do, people. We got nothing but homework to do, people. We got nothing but homework to do, people. Action steps and conclusions. Action steps and conclusions. Creating an ancestral altar. Study African spirituality. Join community practices. Share with the next generation. Ensure knowledge continues forward. Find others on similar journeys. Learn from authentic sources. A sacred space for connection. Okay? All right? Okay? And that's it, guys. And that's it. The forgotten slave trade. That's what they want you to have. I'm not going to forget that. I'm going to remember it for the rest of my life. I'm going to point at it for the rest of my life. I'm going to put my finger at them for the rest of my life. This is no disrespect. It is what it is, right? Hmm? Hmm? The disconnect is the disconnect is real. The attack is real. You're just sleeping because you prefer to sleep than to face the beast. Not me, not us, not the real AKs. You know what I'm talking about. The Alkebulan kidnaps. But yeah, that's my live for you guys. I will be back tomorrow. I'm about to finish this edit, put it up and load it, and you guys can listen to it tomorrow. I'm getting ready to go buy a new mic. For some apparent reason, I feel like this mic is acting up. I don't know if it's me. I don't know if it's my voice. I don't know if it's my voice too deep for the mic, but whatever the situation is, you know what I'm saying? It's time for a new mic, period. But with that being said, people, it's your brother man from the motherland. Came to you guys live. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Continue supporting. Continue leaving your feedback. And continue remembering, I am him, Jones, the NBIC, a.k.a. Mr. Keep My Foot on you heathens, you he-grows, and the install. He the nice next. Are you dumb or are you dumb? And I'm a holler.